It's 11 minutes after 11. Channel Africa first with the African story globally. Now, South Africa is unfortunately facing a growing need to equip young people with skills that can translate into real opportunities in an increasingly digital economy. Yet for many young people, particularly those in underserved and rural communities, access to digital training remains a huge challenge. Now, call on the Village NetAcad Programme. They are aiming to address exactly that challenge, to change that by establishing more than 500 community-based networking academies across the country. To tell us more about this great initiative, let me welcome my guest on the line, Dennis Memela, Managing Director at DigiTitan. Dennis, good morning to you. Welcome to Channel Africa.
Good morning, Ernest. Thank you very much for having us. Appreciate it.
No, it's only my pleasure. Now, the Village NetAcad program is aiming to change this digital divide faced by young people by establishing more than 500 community-based networking academies across the country and equipping, I see your target here, 25,000 young South Africans with industry skills. This sounds fantastic. Please tell us more about this program.
Well, it's a very amazing program that we started way back, but officially launched around March this year. We doing this in collaboration with a number of partners and stakeholders. It's a multi-stakeholder approach, Ernest. But in the main, we've been, fortunate to get, a number of government departments that have come on board and worked with us in terms of rolling out this program. We started in a couple of provinces some time back, and we've realized that the time for piloting and all of that is no longer with us, given the situation that we're finding ourselves, from a, unemployment, rate that we have just received, etc. So we are rolling out across the country 500 of these networking academy programs. It's not only government. We also fortunate to be partnering with a number of private companies like your Cisco. We've done work with Microsoft, we've done work with Google and Oracle. It's an amazing initiative going forward. Yes.
It certainly sounds like. I mean, the program has been launched already. It is currently underway, right?
Yeah. No, it is underway already. We've got more than 4,000 young people that have already benefited out of this year. So we're training in a number of levels. We're training, young people who are literally beneficiaries, but we also we've identified, given the unemployment rate that we're facing, that as a country we're still running short of, certified trainers. So we are doing a lot of work. Early this year, we've trained more than 1,000 young people to be, certified trainers. And this program was actually funded by Cisco, where we were training these young people in different areas, but as certified, ICT digital skills trainers.
Interesting that you say here, you specifically are targeting young people, if I'm correct, who are not in employment, formal employment, education or training facilities, if you will, to access the industry by empowering them with the digital skills. Am I interpreting this right?
You're spot on. The issue that we are facing, Ernest, the issue of this group of young people called, NEET group, not in education, employment, and training. And these guys, we've got, according to the latest figures from Stats SA, there are between 3.9 and 4 million of these young people, sitting at home. And it's a mix of them. We've got unemployed graduates. We've got young people with matric. We've got also young people with a level of education which is below that. And they're saying that about 12% of these unemployed young people within the NEET group are graduates. So it's a mixed group. And for us, this is, the area where we want to actually to get started in terms of targeting, so that we give them, an alternate pathway in terms of exiting this very dire situation of these young people who are unemployed. And it's very, very important to understand that the digital skilling initiative through the Village NetAcad program is not just for empowering and educating guys who want to specialize within the digital skills or ICT field, but we are saying whether you want to become a specialist in the IT space or whatever, but you need these skills. Whether you are an educator, you are a nurse. I mean, we now we talk digital edutech. We're talking telemedicine. We talk so digital skills. They cut across now in terms of this economy. That we are actually into. But over and above that, we then saying guys who want to actually to specialize are also given those opportunities to be able to reach the highest level, in terms of the training. And that is why we have, philosophically, we've looked at digital skilling in a very different kind of way. I mean, you will find that if you go across, there are people who are purporting to be doing digital skilling. They will do 2 weeks, you'll do it, your 1 month or whatever. But the program that we're putting together is grounded on a philosophy of building, learning pathways. You enter at a particular level and you progress and progress. If you feel like now you want to exit for one reason or the other, you do that. But guys who want to remain in the program until they reach expert level, they are able to do that. So it's very unique in that kind of way, where we are very clear in us that we are not just training for training's sake.
Yeah.
We want to see, young people becoming employed at the end of this, but also we are opening space for, guys who wanting to actually to start their own businesses, as part of the program. So SMME development, digital, entrepreneurship, as it's called, is also part of what we are doing in this regard.
Fantastic. So I take it the name of the program itself, the Village NetAcad Programme, was intentional, right? That you are saying there's enough focus with the urban areas. Let's cast our focus solely on the far-flung areas that would otherwise not access this digital facilities or even the training itself. Am I correct?
Absolutely. If you look at we've been working with organizations, companies like Cisco, where they've been, they've launched this networking academy program across the globe. But if you look at developing countries, for one reason or the other, there's been challenges in terms of rolling out this program. And given the time that we are in this, we've been in this, we've identified, challenges and all of that, and hence we have decided that we are, deep rural areas, under-resourced communities are going to be key, in terms of this. So we are taking it down there to the villages. We want to see a village, net academy in each and every community, going forward.
All right, fantastic. Dennis, please stay on the line. We'll continue with this all-important discussion and the training programs and how young people and, of course, their parents listening in, how they can access this program as well. For now, though, the time, 20 minutes after 11 Central African time.
Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows, catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa is just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The rhythm of Africa, the pulse of the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
All right, welcome back. 21 minutes past 11 CAT. We're talking about the Village NetAcad Programme, which is aimed at rural areas, the villages, particularly aiming at young people to empower them with digital skills that can turn into meaningful jobs. My guest on the line, Dennis Mamela, Managing Director at Digititan, who are the folks behind this beautiful program. Now, Dennis, how will this program ensure that training in areas that you've mentioned earlier, AI, cybersecurity, coding, and cloud computing, remain relevant to the needs of South Africa's future workforce? You know, in other words, you've already alluded to it, that it's not just a ticking box exercise where you've been to the village and funders are happy, but nothing really comes of the training.
We've been fortunate, Ernest, to actually to be part of the NYS, which is the youth training program based in the presidency, where also a number of employers are actually playing a key role. So there is a direct linkages in terms of what young people are actually receiving from a training point of view in terms of linking them to job opportunities that are actually available out there. There is an amazing platform that we are, as part of the Cisco NetAcad program, they've launched what they call it Talent Bridge, which is a global platform where many of the young people who get these qualifications are, able to be connected to potential employers across the globe. We've got guys that have been through this program since we started way back. Now all over the world, the guys in the UK, in the US, and everywhere else, through Talent Bridge, they're able to actually to be linked to employers. But the other component to this is that training that we are actually doing through the NYS is now linking to workplace opportunities where guys will go into the workplace and get and acquire practical skills in that dimension, and that also creates that pathway of ensuring that guys get actually linked to the opportunities that are out there for employability and entrepreneurship and all of that. So that component of ensuring that at the end of the day, these guys are able to get what is relevant, because countries that are actually leading in this space, like your South Korea and other countries, your Estonia and all of those, are demonstrating clearly that government cannot do this alone. It cannot be a just one entity running this. You need employers who would then be able to guide government in terms of saying, and these kinds of programs that this is where shortage is. We know now, for example, if I can just give a practical example, that many companies have indicated that in South Africa we have a serious shortage of young people who are able to do tech support, and this is one area where we are actually focusing, and accreditation will come from QCTO, which is organization responsible for qualifications and trades and all of that, but also industry certification as well, which then brings in this element of global competitiveness and relevance. So the linkage, they used to call it triple helix, where we have business, you have government, and you have training institutions working together to ensure, as they say, square the circle, with regards to this area of skills development. We cannot be continuing to push the narrative that says there's shortage of skills and all of that. We need now to be able to actually to pinpoint. If you're saying we are running short of AI as we are at the moment, that's where we're going to focus. And at the end of the day, we need to be deploying these young people in those areas. Cybersecurity is critical. Governments and private companies are actually becoming victims of this. we in South Africa, we don't have enough of young people getting into the space, and this is where we are actually focusing. And we are not focusing just at a mid-level. You cannot have a young person who's specializing in cybersecurity through a 2 months or whatever training. You need to train them at, up to a point where these guys become, experts in that area,
in the field,
and then they'll be able to close those gaps. Yeah.
All right, Dennis, just in the interest of time, I mean, you're calling on partnerships, you're mentioning some partnerships that you envisage. Does it mean they're not yet on board, and thus the call to government departments, municipalities, and TVET colleges and universities to come together and bridge this digital divide? Are they not on board as yet?
Well, they are. The Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability, they're leading this, and they are now bringing in the NYDA as well to come in and be part of this. We are working with COCTA, Cooperative Governance. We're working with them. We're working with Department of Higher Education, and we are now in the process of finalizing again another big project with the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies. So this multi-stakeholder approach is actually bearing fruit. It's coming together. They are, these partners that I've mentioned, already part and parcel of this program.
All right, good one. But all important question as we wrap up, how do young people access this? If parents and educators are listening right now, how do they access this wonderful program, the Village NetAcad Programme?
We are all in social media handles, the Village NetAcad Academy. If they go there, they will be able to get information on that. The other way is if they want to actually, whatever information, we have an excellent team of young people who are, managing this and running this. info@villagenet.co.za. They drop us an email. We will definitely respond to the emails. But organizations and institutions that want also to start academies and work with us, they can go to our website, villageNetAcad.co.za. They can go there, and there is, a path that's in a guide in terms of how they could actually register and be part of this program.
And the other challenges young people face is the next thing, they go on to the website, maybe not yours, and they're asked for fees and all that. There's no payments here and registration
Absolutely
fees.
Not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can understand where that comes from. I mean, there are scams and all sorts of traps out there, to burden and already burdened youth. So it's good to get that out of the way. You said that website again? Your website?
www.villageacademy.co.za.
All right. Thank you so much, Dennis. We wish you all of the best. We'll check in with you and see how the program is going.
Please do. Thanks, Ernest. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you for your time. Dennis Mamela is the managing director at DigiTitan. They are the folks behind this program, the Village NetAcad. So Net, N-E-T, Acad is short for Academy. The Village NetAcad program. Go online, www, you'll find them, and you can follow the steps there from there on to acquire more knowledge and perhaps even sign up for this program. It's just about 11:30 Central African time here on The Journal with me, Ernest Pillay. Time now for Channel Africa Sport with Fikile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Ernest. South African national women's football team, Banyana